Hello everybody and welcome to Medieval Minecraft. I'm IgnorantGravity, also known as Grandmaster Grav on the server, and today I'm going to be showing you around several of the towns in Medieval Minecraft because I've been receiving several requests to do so. I will not be showing you the Freeland towns. That is Jamziboy's turf, and I will not be showing you the Dwarven city because that is Deavonyx turf, and I will link them both in the description just for your viewing pleasure. But today I will be showing you the human or Nordic settlements as well as the elven towns. So today you are seeing right now the human or Nordic capital of Falcrest, specifically the main gate, and I'm just going to be showing you around and tour. But up here we have stables that are recently constructed. We don't have horses. Maybe that will change in the future, maybe not, but for now empty. Maybe pigs, who knows. And so we have the entrance here, and let's see if they have any roleplay going on. If I remember the proper button. They do. Good. So, as you remember, this is a roleplay server. And so, the point is to, obviously, roleplay. But anyways, you entered the city, and you're left here. In front of us is the barracks. There are houses obviously scattered throughout everywhere. There's an old merchant stand which is no longer open because there's a new merchant square. Oh, forgot to replace it. Occasionally when something happens like a server restart, fire burns through the object that is burning on. Fire spread is turned off, so logs can be lit forever. Occasionally that happens. Anyway, so we have several businesses, towns, blacksmiths, things of that nature. This is one of my favorite spots on this town, just because it feels real close and tight. Most of the city is fairly unusually open, and I'd like to see more of the city become more like this, just because it makes more sense in my mind, and it looks cool. I mean, you're left looking at it going, I wonder what's way over there, and then you go, oh yeah, it's the gate. Vice versa, especially if this is your first time in the city. But here we are in the town square with a nice little fountain. Here is the, I guess you could call it the town hall, and it is currently becoming vacant because I recently built a new fortress for the king of the Nords, and he is deciding on what he wants to do with it, whether or not to keep it like I keep urging him to do and use it as a meeting place for him and his council, or to sell it or strip it of its materials to use elsewhere. But last I knew, he hasn't made a decision yet. Nope, skeleton. So over there we have an inn. I believe it's owned by Blackwater, which is kind of more or less a bank. Hello. And here we have is the sewer, because we actually do have a sewer down here, a sewer system. The tunnel network is actually quite extensive, and a majority of it was built within a day, between, I think there was roughly 10 people building it, including myself off and on. less, but it's also a work in progress type thing. So I'm just gonna fly around to show you things. We have more shops down that direction, lots of houses, and there seems to be more houses added every day. I've added the cobwebs as a smoke effect just because I felt like there was a lot of chimneys without smoke, and that's weird. And it just felt lifeless, non-moving. It just seemed weird. So I changed that, and I apologize if I pissed someone off. I will gladly remove it if you don't want smoke coming out of your chimney. So we have a few shops down here on the far end. We have a family crypt from someone. And we have more shops. Notice boards everywhere. This is actually pretty cool here. A player that is known as Alec, that's not his full gamer tag, that's just the first part, is setting up a museum. So he's collecting various items, as well as lore behind him, and as I said, creating a museum. So we have more houses and farms, things of that nature. Something really cool someone did was they made this kind of sinkhole type farm. Now, I know a lot of people have issues with underground farms, but I'm very willing to let this go just because of how creative it is. So back up this way, we have more houses, and this is really weird. I'm not entirely convinced this is naturally how it is because it's a completely different biome, and I am almost convinced that it was changed, but I have no proof of that, and so it's just going to stay there and be weird. But that's new. No, it's not. Anyways, more houses. We have roads weaving through things. See, this is what I'm talking about, is that I would love to have more of this where it's real tight and close and feels cozy, as some people like to say. And so we have the main business district is in here. And so we have all these merchant stalls which you can rent from, I believe, again, Blackwater. Yeah, and here's where you can find a majority of the traders in the town. I think the blacksmiths and things of that nature are on the far end of town, on the opposite corner. Yeah, that covers this area. Ignore this. I hate this personally. They call it a skating rink, and they were going to build an aqueduct there, and they haven't done so, and I might just change it at some point since nothing's happening with it. Right, so as you've seen in previous videos, this is Guild Hill. There's been some changes since my last video. There's the mining guild, which has been having some renovations inside, but I won't show you that in this video. We have the Scribes Guild, which is there, and they're in charge of basically collecting the knowledge of the land in books, and basically a library. And this is the Order of the Sun's temple, which he kept complaining about resources, but I think he made good use of his resources, even though it looks kind of bland in certain parts. I still think it's a very nice shape and things of that nature. Also, we have this little area, which I think is interesting, but I also feel like more can be done with it. We're starting to gain more and more interesting little landmarks in the town, such as this statue donated by one of the members of this community, and we have the upper class district, which it is right next to what I've been leading up to, is the fortress on King's Hill. Now recently I've decided on a name due to suggestions from community members, and I cannot remember off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down, but I will look it up and put it in the description. And it's more or less just a place for the king to be safe in times of war. Cannons have recently been added to the server, and as a result I had to do some renovations to fortify the fortress even farther. By the way, lore on the fortress, or history on the fortress, at least a very brief history, can be found in Alex Museum. I will be writing the rest of the history at a later date, because I can't seem to get around to it. And here we have is the main entrance to the fortress. I've suggested to King Zorander to have embassies down in that little area, because it makes sense to have embassies next to the capital area. I'm just gonna fly over this. So, in case you haven't seen this style of gate before, it is called a gravity gate. No, I did not make it. That's just kind of sort of what it's called, and because it works on the gravity physics of sand and gravel to push any number of fences or other materials up, and then has pistons pushing things back down. Now you can make this gate at any size. If you would like a tutorial, please leave a comment in the comments section, and I will be more than happy to do so. They're just a pain to do on multiplayer because timing, due to lag and things like that, can screw things up. Anyways, within the fortress we have Zorander's new throne. We have living quarters, dining, things of that nature, up in here and all around the place. Downstairs we have, ignore the exposed redstone, it's a very tight thing. Anyways, down here we have the vault for all of the king's valuables, taxes, things like that. We have the armory, not much. I hope to change that in the future, or maybe just let the players change it, because that's never really a bad idea. I'm just going to take a shortcut here out. And then we have more cannons on the top. Ignore the furnaces and stuff. This was one of the last places I was working on, and still fiddle with, because I don't entirely like this whole stone brick section. But that concludes a majority of the town. Ignore this banner, we plan on removing it at some point, just because it's obnoxious and seems very out of place. It looks cool, but that's about it. That being said, I will go do the elves now, and yeah, I might add it to this video, I might not. You'll find out in a few seconds. Otherwise, have a good day. If you liked the video, please subscribe or comment or like or any of the above, and I will see you next time.